Michael's
Michael's
sells giant
golden
ass.
giant fortune cookies, dude.
How did you?
Giant. Look at this beautiful fortune cookie. It's
What?
as big as my head.
What could you have been looking for and wind up with a giant ass fortune cookie?
You know, like we were just walking down there. My daughter's looking for some stuff because she's like into cosplay, right?
Right.
And all of a sudden I walk around the corner in this discount aisle. There's this sucker is sitting there. Giant fortune cookie for 40% off. And I was like, wow.
How could you say
Sometimes you just gotta buy this stuff. I have a major regret. Okay. So years ago, I remember walking around in Michael's. It's during Christmas time. I walked around the corner and then in the clearance aisle, what do I see? Like a full-size plate armor helmet.
Why don't you own that?
That was the thing. I was like, no, it's kind of dumb. Massive regrets. Okay, but it gets better. Okay. The next year, I walking down into Michael's or to not Michael's, Winners, and what do I see? The gauntlet, a chainmail gauntlet.
Why don't you have that?
And I'm going, I should buy that. But I didn't. I didn't buy it. And then it was gone the next day when I went back. I was like, man, I could have been like 1 year at a time, buy myself a full set of plate armor.
Here's the thing. Someone bought that. So
Yes.
somebody else is explaining to their wife why they have a chainmail gauntlet.
Why should you have to explain why you have chainmail or plate mail or anything?
You know what? I own like 5 pairs of shoes. So if I want to own a stormtrooper helmet, a lightsaber, a chainmail gauntlet, a piece of armor, it's the same thing as it's the same as owning 12 pairs of shoes.
Exactly. And I mean, realistically, when the zombies come, they're bite proof.
Actually, you and I both have exactly what you need for zombie wear.
What's that?
What do you think the best thing to have is if there was a zombie apocalypse? Think of every zombie movie you've ever watched.
Yeah.
What do you own that would be perfect for a zombie apocalypse?
Motorcycle gear.
Motorcycle gear. You've got the helmet. You've got pretty much impenetrable gear. Like I have
Kevlar. Yeah.
I have nylon Kevlar jacket with armor in it. Helmet, gloves. We're good.
So why is it that the only one in Walking Dead was Negan who made any sense? Because he walks out with this freaking leather jacket and a baseball bat, and it's like, okay, you're kind of sensible here.
Yeah, you'd think there'd be somebody there with a helmet or somebody there with there's riding gear. There were motorcycles around. Like,
right?
Did nobody think about, hey, why don't we put this stuff on that protects us from rolling down a highway? No, let's take this stuff off. Let's throw a tank top on and try and fight some zombies.
Well, exactly. They're running around basically with nothing, grappling with these things. It's like, guys, like, come on. Like, we know guns are no use to them, but a hockey stick is pretty useful.
It's fair to say that guys have got a couple things planned. One of them is how would we survive a zombie apocalypse? We already have that somewhere cataloged in our skulls.
Of course, everyone's got a go bag.
Right, and whether we have a go bag or not, we're like, oh no, we'd be fine. We would be fine.
Yeah. Absolutely. And motorcycle, I mean, the problem with motorcycle is you can't carry any gear and you got limited range.
No, it's the motorcycle gear that you've got that would protect you from the zombie attack.
But it'd be a good way to get out of the city.
Oh, for sure. Dirt bike your bike would be more nimble than my bike. I have a big bagger.
Yeah, well, that's fair. But you could carry more stuff probably too, eh?
I live longer if I get through on the bagger.
Yeah. So there's a book series that who did called by S.M. Sterling called Dies the Fire. Okay. Have you ever read that or heard of it?
No.
Okay, so it's really cool. Okay. I'm kind of diverging from our topic, but it is a very cool book. Okay. Came out like in 2004 or something like that. And the whole concept is we're going about the world as usual. Then all of a sudden something happens and it wipes out any technology at steam level and above. So steam engines don't work. Any technology above. Gunpowder doesn't work. You try to light gunpowder, it just fizzles. Okay. You try to do a steam engine, it just doesn't work. It's just something is preventing all these things from working. Okay.
Okay.
So then it turns out into who would be the ones that would succeed the most. So like the standard the people who are just doing like thieves and stuff like that. They are just they're useless because they go after all the jewelry and the goods and the money and things, which has no functional use.
No.
Okay. Some of the people who made it the furthest in that new world were the live action role players. The guys who went to Renaissance fairs because they could
LARPs?
do yes, because
Okay.
they could do archery, they could make bows and arrows, they could do blacksmithing,
Right.
right? So they were able to create a community. The next people who were able to survive were like some military guys, right?
Yeah.
Rangers specifically, and people who could ride horses. And
Really?
eventually they turned into basically armored knights.
You know what? Fun fact. I had a hobby before we had, was it before we had kids? Before we moved here, I took on blacksmithing as a hobby. I was making hunting knives. I was folding
Really?
steel. Yeah. Yeah. And the only reason that I stopped, I actually built a forge, and it was a tiger torch and these bricks. And I had this long shaft of bricks that I could
Right.
put my steel in, heat it, bang it out. And I was using skill saw blades
Right.
and harrows,
Okay.
like for
Yeah.
quilters.
Yeah. Yeah. Why not?
And I was making knives like bushcraft. And it was fun
Okay.
because you could fold steel over and over and over again. So I would be one of your few friends that could actually survive based on uh, bladed weapons and making them myself.
Amazing. Amazing.
Mhm.
So take a look at that book, okay? Because it's goofy.
Okay.
Because who do you think rule some of the people who ruled the world? The people who turned into like the kings.
I would get, like, if you're basing it on battle happening, then it'd be whoever could make the weapons. If you're based on survival happening, then it'd be farmers, I
No,
guess. Okay.
close. History profs.
Oh, okay. Because if you don't learn from history, you're doomed to repeat it.
Because they understand feudalism, they understand the hierarchy, and they know how to set up these things. So, and at the big one of the big bad guys, he's a history professor, and while everyone's running for stolen goods and everything, he's running to like the harbors and ports where they have like tons of wheat, and they create this empire built on the existing food stores and create a feudalistic society. It's really crazy movie or book.
So, do you think there would be more violence or less violence if there was a big reset? If
Oh,
something like
that's
that happened?
oh. It would probably be lawlessness, but not necessarily more violence.
I say this because putting people into different scenarios. I watched this really interesting video, and it was short, but you've seen the 100 men versus a gorilla bullshit that's going on right now, right?
Yeah, I've seen
Okay.
that. Yeah, yeah.
So they had, imagine one woman is locked in a vault with 100 men, or one man is locked in a vault with 100 women. Who ends up on top? Who ends up with the better?
Who ends up on top? Yeah.
No, but who ends up with in the better scenario? The woman or the man? The one man
Good
or the one
question.
woman? So I guess they studied this and they said, okay, how would this play out?
So hold on.
And
What was it again?
basically, you have a cave and they
Yeah.
lock it in,
Okay.
and you have 100 men with one woman,
Okay.
or one man with 100 women.
Okay. So, have you ever played the game Fallout?
Yeah, yeah. Well, I'm
That's
familiar
actually
with
in
it.
there. That's
Okay,
actually in
okay,
there. Yeah, there's
okay,
actually a vault where there is one man and 100 women, or 1,000 women, and
okay.
another one where there is like one woman and 1,000 men, or something like
Yeah.
that. So, and I can't remember what happened to that one. Imagine one was a good time and one was not a good time.
So according to the
Hmm.
study, they had the one woman with 100 men. You would think
Yeah,
would not be the greatest thing to happen. However, because it was one woman and the men were trying to impress the
yeah.
whole time, she eventually ends up as like the queen bee,
Okay, okay.
because everybody wants to just, they're nice to her. They're, because you don't want to be the jerk in the room.
Yes.
And although you might think it could be worse, it was one man, or one woman, 100 men, and the woman ended up sort of organizing all of them and making things better. Okay.
Okay.
Now, with 100 women and one man, what happened was he was seen as a utility.
Oh,
He was
okay.
being used as a tool. He was being used to do all the heavy lifting and this, that, and he was exhausted and he went nuts because there'd also be infighting amongst the women
Yeah.
consistently, and it drove him crazy. Like the woman ended up in much better shape than the man did.
That's awesome.
Based on, and they ran this scenario like thousands of times, said if that did happen, the woman would end up on top and the guy
Literally.
would lose his mind. Yeah.
What would I'm asking ChatGPT which civilization would be better, 100 men and 1 woman, or 100 women and 1 man, and see what it says. Okay, let's see.
All right. I wonder if they'll pull the same study.
I'm curious about that. That's why I'm curious. Biologically, let's see. Well, biologically, the genetic diversity would be a problem.
You want it to be a sociology, more of a sociology type answer.
Yeah. Conclusion: 100 women and 1 man is vastly more viable for starting or continuing a situation.
For continuing a society, sure.
Yes. What about for sanity?
Sanity. Who would end up? Yeah.
Okay, for the men, high psychological burden. For the 100 men, 100 women and 1 man, high psychological burden, social pressure, emotional burnout likely.
Yeah. Yeah.
For the women, may develop a shared community support system, cooperative roles, competition, jealousy, and hierarchies over 1 male partner could create tension, could split into factions or power struggles. Now, for the 100 men and 1 woman, the woman is likely to face immense stress, potentially trauma, risk of objectification, violence, or coercion. Mental health and physical safety would be at severe risk. For the men, had access to reproductive hope, more aggressive, depressed, or unstable. Group cohesion could break down. Violence among men is likely, and lack of emotional outlets. So it says 100 women and 1 man would be better overall.
Really?
That's what it says.
You would be exhausted.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So we're gonna go off topic. So it's been 2 weeks, guys. We miss each other. So 100 men versus a gorilla.
Yeah.
Could 100 men take down a gorilla?
I don't think so.
And who goes first? The poor sucker that has to go first. I mean, he's like a gorilla has.
I'll go last. I'll go last.
It's unbridled strength.
Oh God! Those things are, for vegetarians, they're crazy strong.
Well, and the thing is, we have what's our problem? As human beings, we have, oh my God, what's the control? We have not control over our emotions. It's oh, my brain's not working. It's been a day. When you react to things and oh, come on. Emotional control, like we would stop, right? We hold back. Sort of like impulse control. That's a problem. A problem that, and not a problem, but it's a good thing about human beings is we have something called impulse control. And this
some of us do anyways.
Right. But this is why Mike Tyson hasn't killed anybody yet, because he could have with 1 punch every time he hit.
Yep.
He had impulse control.
I wish he did kill Jake.
Really?
Well, not kill him.
I wish he would have landed one.
Just one good one.
It would have been nice to see him knock him down or just connect.
Or bite his ear off or something.
Yeah. I mean, that was a whatever. Everybody got paid, and that's why we watched it. We watched it because everybody got paid.
Oh, it was boring though. Like it was boring.
It was a dance. Boring. And fighting, here's the thing, boxing, I still believe that boxing is still one of the greatest sports out there.
Sport of kings, right?
It's sport of kings, but it's a gentleman's sport. You're hitting and you're standing there and you're taking a walloping for 9 rounds or whatever it takes. And there's no way to really cheat it. You can be dirty, but you're still boxing. Your gloves are still on. And it's an absolute fight. And I don't watch sports. I really don't. But boxing, there's something about that sport that is so...
It's just visceral. It's just like, you saw Rocky Balboa, right?
Oh, of course.
like that was brilliant. You know, he's old as us, and you got arthritis. You're slow. You can't do the pounding. It's just time to build some hurt and bombs, right?
Right.
And it's like I could relate to that, yeah, because you can't fight against those young guys on the same level.
Well, and I think that when you're fighting, and I mean, if you've been in a fight, you know that taking a punch and throwing a punch both hurt.
Yes.
That's reality.
Yes.
Right. But boxing is one of those things where it's a sport that hasn't really changed a lot in the last 50 years. It's the same sport. MMA,
one of the problems that they have with like the Mike Tyson one is what he had to wear like, heavier gloves too.
Really?
Yeah, he wore heavier gloves than Jake Paul did.
Yeah, but Tyson's a boxer, and you're going against Jake. Oh, Jake Paul was a boxer.
He was kind of a boxer. Like he did do some boxing, but he didn't. I think you can tell it was definitely done for the money more than anything.
For sure. I mean, it was a publicity stunt. And here's the thing. We all watched it. We all tuned in, and we were all very disappointed by it.
Yes. Incredibly. Now, the women before that, the girl fight,
that was violent, man. Like that was
intense. Like the eyebrow was torn off and everything, right? It was just flap of skin there. It was like, wow.
And that is, like, you know how hard you have to connect to rip the skin with a glove on?
Well, I think that was when she got head-butted.
Oh, yes, that would have done it.
Yeah, because she got head-butted like 5 times in that fight.
Is that part of boxing? Are you allowed to headbutt?
No. Does your head identify as a hand, right?
So in your line of fighting in karate, can you headbutt?
No. What are you talking about?
Just sweep the leg?
No, it's not. Yeah, sweep the leg. It's not like this Israeli Krav Maga or anything.
You weren't wrapping your knuckles in burlap, dipping them in glue, and then gummy bears
right?
Is that what that is? Dimmock?
No, the dimmock is like the death touch, right?
The whole idea of wrapping your hands and then dipping them in broken glass seems counterintuitive because it's going to cut both ways.
That sounds like a bad idea.
It sounds like a bad idea, but it was good for blood sport. Was it blood sport?
That was kickboxer.
And Hot Shots Part 2.
Yeah.
But I think
yeah.
He dipped him in the caramel sauce and then in sprinkles and gummy bears.
So I showed my girls and we watched Kickboxer, and some people think that's a terrible one for kids shouldn't watch that, right? But it was crazy because we're watching it, and during the fighting, the training scenes, both girls are up there and they're doing kicks and everything, trying to do what Van Damme was doing.
For sure.
But like this was like 6 months ago, so it wasn't like they were little,
Right.
But that was like that's how it felt watching those movies the first time.
We were jammed up, and the thing is, we all thought that we could do that. Like you didn't
You
didn't crane kit when you were a kid. You didn't stand on a short parking lot post and do a crane kick.
Absolutely, everyone did.
Why are there as many martial arts movies as there used to be?
Because they got too outrageous.
Did they, or did we just get tired of it?
So like it turned so much into mixed martial arts and lots of blood and lots of like the nice thing about like the Van Damme movies is like he threw 3 kicks in each fight. It's just different camera angles got them every single time, right?
And he would scream like there was something wrong with him.
Yeah, exactly. But they were simple, right? You could clearly see the technique hitting. And now a lot of them are just like they're so fast and they're grappling and they're rolling, and you can't. There's no story behind it. You're seeing a real fight, but you're not getting a story.
No, but I mean, here's the thing. We watched them. We watched all the Van Damme movies. We watched all the Seagal movies, and we wanted the next one was always better. And it didn't have to be good. We just watched it because we wanted. It was
just the next one. Yeah,
like American Ninja.
Oh, they're terrible, but they're horrible. Great.
They were great.
They were great.
Now a buddy of mine.
Was it Best of the Best? Oh
yeah. Didn't the guy play Spawn?
One of them did. No, non Best of the Best. But that was Michael Jai White.
Yeah, did he play Spawn?
He wasn't in. What was he in? He was in. damn, what was Michael Jai White? And he was in, wasn't Best of the Best. He played
Hey,
he's played quite a few different ones though.
Yeah, how's it going, Roy?
But
Roy's up.
Michael Jai White was a real deal. Like that guy was badass. But yeah, he was in Spawn.
Here's the thing: there are movies that you think aren't going to take, and there are pieces of shit that are still going. I have a buddy who's a screenwriter, right?
Okay,
And he says every time he's stuck and he thinks that what he's writing is garbage, he watches Velocipaster. Have you heard of Velocipaster? Oh,
No.
let me share this with you. Velocipaster is a 2017 American comedy horror film written, directed, and edited by Brennan Steer. The plot follows Pastor Doug Jones, who, after losing his parents, travels to China and inherits the mysterious ability that allows him to turn into a velociraptor when he becomes angry, dispensing justice and killing evil people. The film has gained a cult following for its unique.
Oh my god!
It's available it's on Tubi, right? And he fights ninjas.
That's great.
So every time he gets stuck when he's writing a film, writing a screenplay, he watches Velocipaster and realizes this piece of shit is on Tubi and somebody is paying for that to be there.
Yeah.
Right. So there are ideas out there, and I believe there's a sequel coming.
Okay. Have you seen Kung Fury?
Or is it Kung Pao?
Kung Fury.
No.
Okay. Pull it up.
Kung Fury?
Share your screen. Kung Fury. You should be able to find the preview of it. Or not the preview, the trailer of it. It came out a number of years ago.
Is it Kung Fury or Kung Fury 2?
That's the second one. It's in limbo right now.
Oh my god. It got 86% on Rotten Tomatoes, 8 out of 10 on IMDb.
It's good. It's so good. But watch the trailer for Kung Fury. Share it on here because it's classic. Kung Fury 2 is speeding. Yeah. Oh my god. You watch that with your kids.
Okay, hang on. Let me find.
I had a viewing party for this one.
We're going to talk about viewing party in a minute. But the official movie's on YouTube. Where the hell's the trailer for this? You watched this?
It's amazing, dude.
Okay. So talking about
it's got Valkyries on dinosaurs with miniguns fighting Hitler.
You gotta be shitting me. Is this based on a video game?
No. You're like, it was good. Yeah.
All I see is a leaked trailer with Arnold Schwarzenegger's in this?
Yeah, the new one, yeah.
Oh, Kung Fury 2.
Yeah.
Kung Fury, the official HD trailer. Okay, let's find this. Okay, hang on.
It is so good.
Where is it?
I don't know.
Oh, sorry. This?
He's a kung fu renegade cop.
I don't want to hear it, Kung Fury. I've just been at City Hall. You just destroyed an entire city block, for Christ's sake.
I quit. Now he must defeat the most evil kung fu master in the world, Adolf Hitler, a.k.a. Kung Fu-er.
Oh my god!
Hitler. He's the worst criminal of all time. I need to kill him.
The power glove?
Back in time.
Power glove.
Nazi Germany. Just like a time machine. Oh no. I went too far back in time. This is the goddamn Viking Age.
Jesus
I'm a
Christ.
cop from the future. I need your help.
Is that Thor?
Yeah.
What the hell?
Get ready for a new world of unspeakable adventures never before shown in a motion picture. Get ready for Kung Fury.
It is that good.
What the hell?
It is so
You know what?
good. And I'm serious. It's not very long. It is so good, man.
It looks like how did it get that great of a score on Rotten Tomatoes?
Because it is seriously so over the top and so crazy, but also pretty freaking good. It's only 30 minutes.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll watch it.
It's completely worth watching it because it's bonkers, but it fits kind of because it's just you just don't even know it when you think it's the most crazy it's going to get. It gets crazier.
Okay, see, this is where this is why I love films and I love that people can make this and somebody is distributing this.
Yes.
Like
yes.
Here's the thing. I shot a movie a year and a half ago, Psycho Killer.
Right.
It still hasn't gotten distribution.
Really?
It still hasn't, it's still stuck. It's completed, but it hasn't got distribution yet. Like, and that was a major motion picture. And it's
right.
Who knows what's happening with it. So, oh, by the way, watch party. On August 15th, Nobody 2's out. And
is it? Oh,
I'm in it.
there we go.
And this will be the first time that our kids get to see me on the big screen, which is cool because everything else came either on TV or streaming or whatever.
Yeah.
So we's going.
Nice. That's cool.
So
that's really good.
We should all go. I think it'd be fun.
There we go. That'd be fun.
And here's the thing. I probably can't show it because I'll probably get flagged because it's Universal. But I'm in the trailer.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So there's I know where I am because he's talking to Simon or Colin, and I'm standing right behind Colin. I'm in a couple scenes, but in this one scene, I'm standing right behind Colin, and he's talking to Hutch. I'm like, oh my God, there I am. And then they close up to Hutch or close up to Simon, and you can see my hands are I'm like this, and you can see my wedding ring. I'm like, there I am. Great. So
do you get more money because you're on the trailers?
No, I don't. I got paid, and that was it. But you know what? It's the preview looks insane. I don't know if you watched it or not, but it's like
I haven't seen it yet. No.
Remember the movie? Remember Vacation?
Yeah.
So Holiday Road, that song,
yeah,
is in the trailer for this because they're like, screw it, we're going on a family vacation, and that song is playing throughout this thing, and he's kicking the shit out of people. It looks really good.
Who starred in that? Who was the actor who was in that?
Bob Odenkirk's in it.
Yes. Yes.
Colin Hanks is in it. So Tom Hanks' son. Sharon Stone is in it.
So you meet any of these people?
Yeah.
On autographs or pictures with them and stuff?
Here's the funny story. Move your thing because it's your beard's doing the thing. So here's the thing. On set, you can't ask for, you don't take pictures. You don't ask for autographs. It's just not professional, right?
Be respectful. Yeah.
Right. So I'm there hanging out with Colin, did you ever see Resident Evil?
Yes.
Okay. Remember the guy that gets cut to pieces with the lasers?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's Colin.
Is this?
Yeah. And we were hanging out all night because we were getting bubble tea outside. He's like, I don't care. Take a picture. So we took some shots. But that was him saying, it wasn't a big deal because that guy wears a suit all the time. One of the extras, we were wrapping up for the night and goes to Bob. He's like, hey man, can you get a picture? He's like, guys, I can't do this. He goes, I'm in makeup, and that guy will probably never get a call again because he did that. But you don't do that. And Bob's like, you know what? I'm going to the baseball game tomorrow. He threw the opening pitch at the Gold Eyes game. Right. And he goes, if you see me on the street, by all means, come up and say hi. And I'll gladly take a picture, but I'm in makeup. Because he had scars and blood on him. However, there's this old guy, Mike. And do you remember on Portage Avenue, there used to be Mike's barbershop, Mike's place? It was an old building. It was a barbershop that had been there longer than we've been alive. But old Mike is 83, 84. And every time they need an old barber to be an old barber, they call him Mike. Okay. And we wrapped up the scenes. And what's funny is the guy that Colin plays is called the barber. And I was his bodyguard. So I'm the barber's bodyguard, which is ironic because I'm a barber. Yeah. And a realtor, but I'm a barber.
And he isn't a barber anymore.
Right. So old Mike, he's doing his thing. And at the end of the day, at the end of shooting, he had a copy of Nobody, the first one. And he walks up to Bob and Colin, and he has a pen. He goes, would you sign this? And without hesitation, they're like, absolutely. Because, it was for Mike. And Mike innocently wanted to give it to his son or his grandson. And that's acceptable, right? Yeah. But, and of course, Bob's like, hang on a second. He gets one of the crew guys to bring him a Sharpie. He's like, hang on, I'll get a Sharpie so this actually looks good. But they were more than happy to do that. But you don't do that when you're like for one of us to do it is cheesy. It was so innocent, and Bob was so cool. Colin was so cool. Like it's cool. But yeah, Sharon Stone is a badass in this one too.
You gotta read the room when it comes to that sort of thing on net, if you're sitting there and you're eating stuffing your face with a donut and a coffee and chatting over the hockey game or something, that's probably not a bad time to be doing that sort of thing, right?
Right. It's professional courtesy. Like you just, I don't know. It's anytime I get a call to do something, I'm happy to be there, and that's it. Like I just want to chill and hang out and do my thing. And you want me to look like a big, mean Russian mobster? Sure, I'll do that.
And I mean, let's get serious. Half the time, people are getting the picture just purely for attention. Anyways, look who I'm at. So somebody give me some likes on social media.
You know what? And again, we can't say anything about it until it's out, and I can't say anything about it until it's released. But it's cool to be able to. I do it because my kids think it's cool. Like my kids seriously think that I'm in movies, and I'm like, no, I'm just a dude that stands there looking tough in movies. Like I'm not that guy. But it inspires them. Bo actually wants to go and do some extra work. She wants to be background, and I would 100% say, yeah, go for it. And I'll hook you up with my girl, and if you guys can do it.
Why not? Why not? It's fun.
Just
You get to see a different world of things, get a little bit extra money.
Be the kid in the background, picking your nose. Yeah. So anyway, yeah, I'm excited about that. But talking about movies, and you were watching what was it called? Kung Fury with your kids.
Kung Fury.
I came back from I did another practice round, right? Last Friday. And did really well. I was pretty happy. But I come in, and when you come in the house and you hear a voice, and like, what the hell are they watching? And they're watching A Million Ways to Die in the West.
Nice.
Now, to be fair, when Kelsey was away, we watched Ted and Ted 2.
Okay.
Horribly inappropriate for kids, but they don't get half the jokes anyway. But they watched A Million Ways. Have you seen A Million Ways to Die in the West with Seth MacFarlane?
I saw that a long time ago, and that's the thing. I haven't seen that one for a long time, but I remember it was just absolutely ridiculous. You had Liam Neeson and everything there. It's just like that's just bonkers.
It is. But I mean, it was a funny movie, and they watched it. They didn't get half the jokes. So let's get into, for a quick one, we're going to make it a short one tonight.
Yeah, sure. That's
life
perfect,
hacks
because
that
I've got a few things going on with my kids there too.
I got you. Life hacks that make sense, life hacks that don't make sense. There are some life hacks that are just ridiculous. Like,
now you did a life hack when you were doing some cardio. What was that? Some sort of salt you were using?
Okay, do not. Here's the thing. I lift, and at 4 a.m. when I go to the gym, the odd time I'll take a little bump of smelling salts. Do not do that before doing a heavy cardio run. Don't.
Jesus. No.
Like, it was like I got tongue punched by a dragon.
So, okay, I do have a question about smelling salts.
Okay.
Have you ever been just a complete jerk, and just when your wife is sleeping, just give it a little sniff?
She punched me in the throat immediately.
I know, but it'd be hilarious.
It would be, but I'd be on the floor, and I would deserve everything that I got.
Yeah, probably, yeah.
Yeah, no, I think that when you smelling
salts,
salts,
have a headache now, do you?
right? Smelling salts have their place. And I think they do have their place. Like I was a guy that I didn't believe in. I used to use pre-workouts, and lots of people swear by them. I would go to the gym at 4 a.m. with a coffee in my hand, and that seemed to do it without the crash.
Yeah.
So, are there life hacks that work that make sense?
Yeah, I think coffee is it's like the secret weapon. It's a great equalizer for everything. The problem is, people use it too long. They use it inappropriately.
Right. Like, I wouldn't take a scoop of instant and just wash it down with my creatine, but that would probably do it.
Speaking of washing things like your creatine or pre-workout stuff, you get people who are dry heaving it now. Like,
I dry scoop my creatine in the morning. I dry scoop my pre-workout in the morning because I went back to a pre-workout because I'm training harder.
Oh my God! Then how do you take that just dry, man? Like,
I put a mouthful, because I have my creatine and stuff in my bottle in the morning. I put a shot in my mouth, and then I toss the scoop in my mouth dry. Then I wash it down. So it's a little gritty, but it gets in there.
You ever sneeze or cough that out your nostrils or anything?
I inhaled it once, and that hurt lots. It burned for quite a while, and I was coughing up something that tasted kind of like mango and vomit for a bit.
Oh God!
Yeah.
Years ago, because you used ephedrine. We all used ephedrine.
What was it was ephedrine, asprin, caffeine.
Yeah, the
that
caffeine
combo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I remember we went out one night. There was me and a bunch of us. We were having just a crazy party. The big goal was to empty my liquor cabinet, and we didn't even put a dent into it.
Ugh.
But then we had the bright idea of ephedrine takes too long.
Okay.
Right? So, well, what if you just crushed it up and rolled up a $20 bill, right?
No.
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 Don't
No.
do that. No, it was a bad idea. It hurts.
You gave yourself a bump of ephedrine?
It hurts, man.
I don't think that's meant to affect your brain.
Well, it really wasn't good.
Oh my God.
So that was I thought it was maybe not the best idea, but we had a lot to drink that night. But that was back when, do you remember pro hormones were a big deal? Like the Norandros and the Andros, like the baseball guys were using. So I knew some of the guys who formulated some of these product lines, right? And they said, when you buy it, you never take it as prescribed. People say, put under your tongue and swallow it, right? And that's how you do it, let it absorb. And they said, we made it that way, but it's not supposed to be taken that way. You're supposed to mix it in saline solution and up your nose.
Oh, I can't do that.
So I tried it with ephedrine, and that's not a good idea. Don't do that. That's not a good life hack.
That's one of multiple. That's one of multiple reasons that I never tried nose candy. To be honest with you, I don't think I could ever put something up my nose. In fact,
like a neti pot, even. God,
like a Crocodile Dundee.
Like a Crocodile Dundee.
When the guy was doing blow at a party, and he's like, "Oh no, you're doing it all wrong, mate." And he took all the guy's cocaine, and he put it into a pot of boiling water. Said, "Here, just put a towel over your head. That'll get it there. Just breathe deep."
Oh my God, yeah.
No, I think that people have hacks, and I like it when I see a hack that works, right?
Yeah.
Like I was a month years old when I realized that you could just twist the top of a pineapple off.
You serious?
Did you know that? Yeah.
I didn't know that.
There you go. So little things make sense. However, when a life hack is so convoluted that it makes no sense, like, oh, what the hell was it? The DIY ice machine, instead of using a regular ice crusher, one hack suggests building a contraption using a blender, a drill, and a bucket of ice.
Oh, jeez.
Just use your blender.
Why were making it so difficult, right?
Did you see people that they would core a hole? They would hollow out an orange, fill it with oil, and then light the stem.
What?
And they'd make a candle out of an orange. Just get a candle.
Exactly. It's like that one where they take the little lights and they put a jar over top of it, like a ceramic jar. Like a terracotta jar, because then they go, you can heat your whole room that way. It's like, no, you can't. It's a freaking candle.
It's a candle. You're going to get a little bit of heat right on it if you want to warm your palms.
Right? Like, what do you think you're going to do here? Not going to help heat your house with that freaking like Bic lighter here. Come on.
And the reality is, if people are going to use these little DIY things to survive, good luck with that. Like, there's a reason that people had. Here's the thing: the way they did it 50 years ago, is probably the way to do it today.
Yeah.
Just because you saw something on IKEA or YouTube or TikTok that kind of
makes a little sense. But that's not that.
No, I think that people are very what the hell is this?
People like
placing a slice of bread into a cookie jar to keep cookies soft. It's effective, but weirdly unnecessary. Just store them properly. Like, put them into a Tupperware container. We have the capacity to do that. Like,
we have the technology.
We have the technology. It's whenever I see some sort of life hack that is more complicated, like I've got a Tupperware container. If you have no such thing, then sure, do that. But why? Why would you do that? Instead of peeling corn, this suggests microwave your corn first, and then the husk slides off easily. It works, but peeling corn isn't really that hard.
It's not really that hard. This isn't a hard thing. And one that I saw that actually kind of works is, like you mentioned, pineapple. The other one is you kind of roll the pineapple, and then you can pull the chunks out one at a time. You ever try that?
You know you can't do that, right?
It kind of works, but my girls were like, "You got to do this." It's like, it doesn't really work.
Did you actually try to do it?
We tried it and we beat the shit out of that pineapple.
Yeah, I guess if you punch your fingers into anything, you could pull something out of it.
Right? And my girl's like, no, it'll work. It'll work. I was like, I don't think it's going to work, girls. I don't think it's going to work.
No, but there's certain things that people think are great life hacks. And there are some things that I've learned work better than others. But I mean, I'm not going to buy a gadget to open a jar.
No.
Put a rag on your hand.
It's not that hard. It really isn't that hard.
It's not that hard. But go on Amazon, go on Temu, go on any of these things, and you're going to find ways to make your life easier by buying some tool that you're never going to use again. How many? Okay, here's not a life hack, but a ridiculous thing that I bought, and I'm sure you own one because you're a health guy. Do you own a juicer?
No.
I sure as hell do. I bought them when they were...
We did. We had Jack Land juicer.
And it took you about 3 bags of oranges to get a glass of juice.
Exactly. And then what are you going to do with the leftover apples? And people go, well, throw it in your garden. It's like, yeah, I'm going to put apples in my garden every single fucking day.
Here's the problem. We find a tool or a gadget that we think is really cool because it's trendy.
Yeah.
And then we need to have this and don't realize it's going to cost you way more to make your juice than to just buy some juice. And I have that thing and I won't get rid of it because I spent God knows how much money to buy this stupid thing because I needed to have a juicer. I also bought a dehydrator, which is also a stupid idea to have.
Let's get serious about the juicer though, because I got it because I was like, you know what? I know my girls aren't going to get enough vitamins and minerals. They're not going to eat their vegetables. So I'm going to make some juices, right? Well, they're not going to drink it.
No.
Because celery juice is terrible.
No, and celery is one of those vegetables that if you feel like eating crunchy water with hair in it, eat celery.
Just go do it. Just fucking go do it.
And I think that we need to go back. Here's the thing: if there was a reset, like you talked about at the beginning of our live stream, if there was a big reset, do you think people are going to be looking for life hacks? No, they're going to try and figure out how did they do this. The historian, there you go. That's how the historian wins.
They're just going to be, it's going to be subsistence living, and that's all it's going to be. And realistically, like we all know people who have that romanticized dream, I'm going to live out in the country. And I mean, we did it too for a little while until we realized, man, I don't even cut my own grass. You know, let's get serious here. But people want to go out there because they want to maybe have like a couple chickens, they want to have a goat and things like this. It's like, okay, but that's just kind of having a hobby, right? But back in the day, it was like, you were just barely surviving.
It was a necessity. And that was part of life.
You didn't do it because it was trendy.
No. And here's the thing. Myself, I grew up on a farm. Okay. And in fact, Kelsey's whole family live out on acreages.
Yeah.
We could go do that.
Yeah.
Here's the problem. My desire to cut acres of grass isn't there. My desire to plow my ass out on a snowy day is not there. My desire to maintain a well is not there. My desire to maintain a septic system is not there.
There's a reason why we don't do it anymore. Why people are moving into the city away from the country. It's because that's hard.
It is. And guess what? People like comfort.
Yes.
Like camping used to be tenting.
Yeah.
Now it's glamping.
Now it's glamping. You know, like, did you take your kids tenting or did you just get a camper?
Kelsey and I used to go tenting when we were dating. And then when we had kids, we bought a camper. So they haven't been tenting, but they will, because I've got all the gear. We camped like crazy. And we also learned how, life hack. Yeah. Toilet paper tube, lint from your dryer, excellent fire starter.
Yeah, perfect. Just goes up like a fucking candle right there.
Right. But the nice thing, or Doritos burn like crazy.
Doritos.
Yeah, Doritos for fire starter works fantastic.
Ah, that's interesting.
Right. So there's a hack that works because it doesn't cost you 10 times the amount to hack the thing. Lots of these stupid things is hours of bullshit and cost. How does this make any sense?
Microwave your sponge for about 1 minute because it kills your bacteria in it.
Wash your sponge?
Throw it out. Or
sponges aren't expensive.
Just throw it away. I mean, okay, so we have one of those scrub daddies, right?
Those are great, actually. I like those.
That's a life hack, man.
Yeah,
that's the game changer. Yeah. So what do? Like every few days, I throw it in the dishwasher.
Okay.
Your sponge?
Yeah, the scrub daddy. Because
That makes sense.
It's just gross and nasty. You throw it in there, give it a little wash cycle, then it's clean again, right? Just get all the junk out of it. But that kind of
never
makes
thought of that.
sense. But those scrub daddies, whoever came up with those, brilliant.
That makes sense.
Hmm.
I've never washed a sponge.
That makes sense to do it. Like it'll sit there for like how long and how much bacteria you're gonna have growing
Until I need it again. Then again, my water bottle.
Exactly.
I wash my water bottle like when I think it's about time.
Oh God, they get. Oh no.
Yeah, when it starts to smell like my gym bag, I wash it.
Especially, but they get nasty, especially if you're putting a pre-workout and everything, and then you start wondering, is that mold or what is that? It's like, oh, it's food dye or just salt or sugars or whatever the hell you put in it, right?
Yeah, like I was talking to a guy. Was it today or yesterday? I was talking to somebody about because I eat a lot of dill, right? Ukrainian, we eat a lot of dill, and I said, it was today because we were in Winnipeg for this thing that I was at, and we went to this butcher shop. It's a butcher supply store, like for spices.
Yeah.
Anyway, he went to get stuff. I'm like, oh, I wonder if they have dill. I go, eat a lot of dill. I go, I actually grow a pile and we use it. I put in my eggs, put in everything. Yeah. And he goes, I can't take the time to pick the dill like off the stem. I'm like, pick it off. I just take a serrated knife, lay the stem on a cutting board and rip it back, and it takes it all off. It's like, really? I go, yeah. Like,
yeah.
This isn't this is just the way you did things. Like, how are
it's just easier.
Half of them I think are clickbait. People say, ooh, here's a life hack for blah, blah, blah. Yeah. It's just the way they did it 50 years ago, and someone realized that their grandmother showed them something.
Yeah, we forgot all of these things. It's like, oh my God.
Yeah, oh my God. Some of these things are dumb. Trends, and they call them like air fryer pancakes. Why would you do that? The risk far outweighs the reward.
That's gross.
I'm sure you could do it, but why would you do it? And actually, okay.
Go ahead.
So
stupid.
You have these low carb diet. Like I get all these low carb recipes coming out over on TikTok, right?
Yeah.
So you get the one that's Parmigiano and these cheeses and pickles, and you lay them on a cookie sheet, and you have a cookie sheet that's like the full cookie sheet of Parmesan, this, that, and everything else, and you cook it till it's crispy. Yeah. Sure, it's okay, but you just spent $30 on your snack that day. How the hell is that any better?
Crunchy cheese. Good job. It's wonderful.
Kelsey bought a tiny little waffle maker once just to make those before we learned the cookie sheet thing. But she takes shredded cheese, pickles, put them in the waffle maker, and this. So you had to buy it. We have a full-size waffle maker. Why did we buy the little one?
Now you got a smaller one too. Right?
Now we have a smaller one, so you can make snacks, and you're going to make 4 of those. Yeah. What's yours?
Sense. Well, do you remember the Shakeology?
Shakeology. Why do I remember that?
There were protein shakes for girls.
Okay, yeah.
And there was their whole weight loss system, right?
Of course.
And my wife actually got it, and it's all these different sizes of like plastic cubes, like containers. So you measure out all of your food. So you get this much for like carbs, and this much for meat, and this much for fat. That way you don't have to count carbs. It's like it's still counting calories.
Of course it is. It's like whenever I see these prepackaged weight loss programs, it's protein in little packages.
Yeah.
So why wouldn't you just buy a tub of protein powder and scoop it into your cup? Because it's all it is. It's a scoop of protein powder per package.
Yeah.
But some people need
more
guidance.
It's more convenient.
It's way more convenient to have a tub of protein powder and just make it than to rip through packages.
The world here, guys. Like, okay, I'm bad because my pre-workout comes individually wrapped.
Are you kidding me?
It actually does.
Okay.
I don't like that. But, I mean, whatever. That's how it comes, right?
That's fine.
And it's like, there's some stuff that's just made single serving, and you can't get a big tub of it.
Right.
And sometimes it makes sense. Sometimes stuff degrades when you're exposed to air.
Right.
Okay. So, but it's still frustrating because it's like, well, I just wish it came in a tub. I should just open it all up. But then it's like, well, what's the point? Now you're just being dumb about it, right?
Well, I've seen some pretty stupid things in my life, like smoked ice. Have you seen that?
Yeah, that's fair. But it tastes pretty good in a drink.
But here's the dumb part: they freeze the ice,
Yeah.
They put it in a smoker.
Yeah.
So it melts.
Yeah.
And then they refreeze it. So why don't you just put water in your smoker?
Right. So instant water, just add water, right?
Instant water, just add water. But I mean, everybody wants a trendy hashtag air fryer secret or trendy hashtag smoker secret.
Yeah.
And they will do this, and they do it on a regular. But I mean, when I see what's considered to be a trend or a hack, I'm like, dude, I saw my grandfather do that when I was 2.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not a hack. You
just what people did back then.
You just forgot that that's how you do it.
Yeah.
But some of them, like it's great when you.
Here you go. Keep floss in your car. You'll floss more, especially in traffic or after takeout.
Floss in your car?
Yeah. Yeah.
I guess. Oh,
put a rubber band around your shampoo bottle. That way you'll know it's low when it's low, because you run out mid-shower. What?
Oh, how about this one? Use a fan to cool your soup faster. Instead of waiting for your soup to cool, place a desk fan next to it and let it blow cold air.
Okay, I guess that would work. I guess that would work.
Right. Microwave your socks for warm feet.
Yeah.
Use a hairdryer to dry your
Microwave
salad.
your socks. Oh my god. Oh, well, this is why we're dying as a species.
We're not doing well. We're not doing well.
No.
Where
floss sticks? Yes, those things are so popular, and it's like, why is this so popular?
This is so stupid.
Actually, you know one that's awesome? Those nasal strips that you don't open up your nostrils.
Yeah.
Holy God!
You've used those?
I've used them.
What the hell do they do? I know what they do, but
they open up your passageways, and I was like, these things are junk. They're not going to do anything. So I bought a box of them, put them on there. I was like, let's see what this does. Let it go, and I took a deep breath and went, oh my God. Like, I can breathe. Like, there's so much air coming into my nose.
Dude, have you ever tried a neti pot?
No.
Oh man, you could breathe. You could smell through time with that. You use a neti pot. I have one. It's the saline, and you actually have a bottle and like kind of push it out, and it'll rinse everything out of your skull. And you want to breathe, that will get everything out of there, and it's fantastic.
Just the thought of having water in my sinuses just makes me like.
It's a
water
salt water.
slide, you know.
Yeah, but
the water slide,
dude, what comes out of your skull is terrifying yet satisfying.
Oh, terrifying and satisfying. I've seen those videos. And it's like just a big long movie coming out there. It's like
this thing comes out like a creature from a science fiction film, and it's phenomenal. However, it works, and it rinses it out, and it has the salt in it. But or blow your nose.
Well, there's that too. You could just do that sort of simple thing, right?
And of course, see things with snoring. How do you cure snoring? I don't know. I can't hear myself snore. Apparently, I snore.
You know what causes a lot of the snoring is actually a fat tongue. That's why people who are more overweight tend to snore more, because the tongue actually gets fatter as well.
Really?
Yes.
I thought
I'm not being rude about this. Like, this is researched data from like sleep apnea institutes. Tongues have a larger diameter when people are more overweight.
Isn't your tongue technically the strongest muscle in your body per square inch?
I don't know.
You should.
Well, I don't
Google that. Is the tongue the strongest muscle in the body? I believe it is.
Strongest muscle in the body.
Like, I can open a beer bottle with mine. Just kidding.
Strongest absolute force is a glute max. Strength by weight is a masseter jaw muscle. Yep, I believe that.
Okay.
Most endurance is the heart. Explosive strength is soleus of the calf.
Floss sticks Bernice is on.
Versatile strength, the tongue.
What do you mean by versatile strength? Versatile strength with the tongue. Here's the thing. The tongue can do very few things.
Yeah, it can do. It just has to do them very well. Otherwise, it's just of no use, right?
Okay,
I mean, if your tongue sucks, it's not doing very good, then you're not going to be good at vital things like, talking or swallowing.
Yeah, right.
Like stuff.
Oh, okay. So here's the thing. If the tongue is versatile strength, would that also be because of the fact that it has a lot of nerve endings in it, and you can definitely feel what the tongue is doing when the tongue is doing something.
Very possible. I mean, you look what some people can do with their tongues. It's crazy.
Well, I remember tying a cherry stem with your tongue.
I couldn't do that.
Oh, I could do it. I could put it in a bow.
Oh, really?
No, but you
My
can do
daughter flips her tongue upside down.
Really?
Yeah, right upside down. Flips it right upside down.
I had
Like,
at one point
a W and a maple leaf and all this weird stuff.
At one point, I actually had a bar through mine.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah.
What do they call it? It was the Prince. No, that's somewhere else.
That's somewhere else, and that never happened. But I did have a tongue piercing at one time, and I remember going to the dentist, and he said, "You know what? Because it has two metal balls on, two stainless steel balls, he goes, you really need to either take these out and put plastic ones in, or take this thing out because it starts to actually wear the inside of your tongue, the inside of your teeth." So I got plastic ones, and it was fine. But it's such a stupid thing to have anymore. Like I had it, it looked cool. Whistling was a little hard.
Yeah, it would be.
But you could. Like you couldn't do this thing.
No,
because
I still can't do that anyways. So
right. But no, I think with how do we get on the tongue? I snore.
Strongest muscles. Somehow we got the strongest muscles. Oh, here's one for you. Sinuses. We were talking about that too, right? Okay. Sleep apnea and stuff. You can, if you push down on your nose here, then let go, and then push your tongue up to the roof of your mouth nice and hard, and you just go back and forth, it will pump your sinuses and it drains them out and cleans them out.
Like, could it end up just falling out of your face?
No, it'll start, the bone will start rocking, and that bone is literally the plunger in your sinuses, so it helps push fluid, like the snot, and it circulates through your system, so it'll start going down your throat and clear it out.
So would this be like
spit it out or whatever?
Is like ancient Chinese medicine? Oh, hang on.
I guess so. I guess it's from Missouri, I think.
So Bernice has her husband uses a CPAP machine.
Right.
And she gets better sleep. I don't think I could strap a hose to my nose and sleep on it. Like here's the thing, I snore. But I like to say that it's the soothing rhythm of it's like sleeping next to the ocean.
I guess it could be.
Because again, Kelsey says I do snore, but I don't choke and die. She goes, you just have this rumble that just up and down, up and down, up and down. It's not. I've never heard it. Like if I do snore, I've never heard it.
She's lying because you've never heard it, so it doesn't happen.
It doesn't happen. Like now. Do I think snoring is a problem? If it was causing me to die for a minute every day, or if I was dying every 30 seconds, then I'd probably do something about it. If it's
I keep having these dreams of the light. I don't know what's going on here.
And trust me, if it was to the point where it was annoying Kelsey that much, she would just put a pillow over my face and it'd be done.
I'm sure you had those dreams of her doing that, and she's just going, "Go sleep. It's okay. It's okay."
I wake up and she just has a pillow over my head. I'm like, everything okay? Yeah.
Just
everything's fine. Everything's fine. Nothing to see here. Like
it's okay. It's okay.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing: if a CPAP machine, and I get it, he must snore quite a bit, Bernice. I get it, but if
you just get a bigger insurance policy on,
if my snoring was that bad that she wasn't sleeping, then yes, I would look into something to take care of it, not a apparatus. However, how cold are your wife's feet? How the living hell?
Dude, how is that a thing? Like she'll have all the blankets, and then there's me lying there with no sheets, going, "Oh my god, I'm dying."
And I don't know if she's a contortionist or not, but sometimes it'll be the middle of the night. It takes a lot to wake me up. Like you would have to punch me in the face to wake me up. Yeah. I don't wake up until my alarm. It's like, what about Bob when he's yelling at him and nothing happens till his alarm goes off? Kelsey can at some point in time, I don't know how the hell she does it, but her foot will end up in the middle of my back. You might as well have tased me. Because I'm like, and I get up and I'm like, how the living hell is that? And then she has no idea that she did it, but circulation, like put some socks on. I don't care what it takes, but please do something.
Hey, I got to run.
I know. Get to what you have
early.
to get to. Guys, thanks. It was a short one today. Jay definitely has to get away to something. We'll get back next week. We're going to be a little bit more interesting, but it's been a couple of weeks. We missed everybody, and we do
Leave
have
some
to get rolling.
comments below so we can actually choose a topic for next week.
Tell it. You know what? Anything goes. We will definitely cover whatever you think is we can bring some light to. Okay, guys? But we do have to end it quickly. Jay,
We'll chat
do
later.
what you got. Go do what you got to do. I know you got to go do something.